and welcome to another edition of Lab Rats. My name is Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers.
And today on the show, I'm very excited.
Are you now?
Well, because we're doing Apple again.
Yeah.
Apple fun.
I know you love Apple so much.
No, actually, I am very interested in this because to me, you know, Apple, of course, traditionally has been an operating system company and a computer company. and in the last year, they've started to, well, actually, the last few years with the iPod, they've become a consumer electronics company.
Yeah, and you know what? You're correct about that, for sure. They've moved away from the computer side of the equation to the point where they've actually dropped the word computer from their names. Now,
Apple Inc. now.
Apple Inc. instead of Apple Computer Inc.
That's right. There you go.
So, and yeah.
So today we're going to have a look at one of their new consumer electronics technologies, the
Apple TV.
Apple TV. All right, awesome. I'm actually very much looking forward to this because I haven't even seen it myself, and Sean's recently acquired one of these. So we're going to have a look at how it works and whether you should get one or not. Whether I should get one too.
Yes.
All right, here's a message from our sponsor and we'll be right back.
This is a llama. It carries luggage. This is a burrito. It is lunch. This is Camtasia Studio 4. It makes screencasts. Now answer our trivia question. What screencasting tool is not woolly or made of beans? I'll be back at the end of the show with the answer.
Okay, Apple TV. Let's do it. Apple TV 101.
101.
So here it is.
That is an Apple TV. And now, from a format perspective, you might think this is familiar because it looks pretty much like a Mac Mini. It has the rounded edges, sort of roughly square shape. It's a bit larger than the Mac Mini in these two dimensions, but it's a bit thinner. It's about 1 inch tall.
It's very pretty.
It's very pretty.
Okay. What is it? What does it do?
Well, the Apple TV...
question, right?
Yeah. So we've talked about media center extenders sort of in general before, about how you can take video formats like Lab Rats or something you've downloaded off the internet, a video, music, photograph, or whatever, and get it from your PC to your TV.
Right, okay.
And the Apple TV is essentially that. It connects directly to your television, and it will pull content from your computer and put it on your television.
From your Apple computer?
Actually from either Windows or Mac.
Oh, right.
And all you need on the computer is iTunes.
Okay.
So your iTunes becomes your music and video repository. So anything that's on there that's compatible with the Apple TV will automatically be playable on this. And now the one nice key feature about the Apple TV that is different from most of the other ones that are out there, and we've seen some good ones in the past, like D-Link has the Media Lounge series of products that will stream audio and video. But the one nice thing about this is compared to, well, actually two nice things compared to the early ones. Number one, it's high definition.
Oh yeah?
720p resolution.
Wow.
And it'll connect out either via component or HDMI connector, so you can actually see things in full resolution when they're available.
So if we compressed Lab Rats into a 720p format, you could see it in high definition on your TV with
Yeah,
this.
not that you want to, but...
Yeah, you do.
But
very
yes,
pretty up close.
It does have higher resolution than most of the other ones that are out there. Number two, the nice thing about this one is it's got a hard drive inside. So when you get data from your PC to your TV, it just basically streams across the network in general with most players. With this one, you have the option of syncing. So if you set up places to sync from on your iTunes library with the Apple TV, you can actually automatically stream it from one to the other so that it's actually just ready to go.
Wow. So you wouldn't actually have to have an active connection. You could actually play directly off of this. Now, how big is that hard drive?
The hard drive in there is only about 40 gigabytes, so it's not huge.
Right.
So
well,
you would...
It's not bad, though. I mean, how big are our episodes? Our biggest episodes, I think, are around about 250 megabytes.
They're a bit higher than that when you have the highest quality compression.
Right. So there's three. So you can put 120 episodes.
Right, but if you got a TV show that's half hour to an hour, maybe 500 megabytes if you've got very good compression on there.
Right.
So it's not like a ton of space, but it's probably enough. So the nice thing about this, which we'll show you in a bit, is you have the ability to pick and choose which folders or which particular sub categories that you're going to sync from. So you don't have to sync absolutely everything in your library. You can if you want to, if you have a very small library, but if you have like a massive library, you can set only sync this folder, this playlist, so you don't have to take everything.
Only sync lab rats.
Only sync lab rats or Lost or whatever.
Right. Okay.
So we're going to
have a look.
how this. So
How does it work?
first of all, so exciting. You connect to it using the same old little Apple remote that you would see with your Macintosh for over the last little while.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's roughly the same format, just a play button, volume, which doesn't actually work for the Apple TV on the screen. That you have to control from your television's menu. But we'll just hit menu, and we can see already it was streaming photographs. It was like using my photographs as a screensaver.
Right.
So what we need to do is we need to set it up. So let's back out to the first screen you're going to see. So there we go. Movies, TV shows, music, podcasts, photos, settings, and sources. So to set it up initially, you're going to want to go into your settings. And to click through, to select something, you click the play button. To back out of the menu, you hit the menu button.
Okay.
So we're going to go down to network. We're going to configure our wireless. It's a wireless connection, or you can use the Ethernet that's in the back.
802.11g.
It actually uses N, so it's even faster. So that's the nice thing about
It must be pre-N.
it's a draft N on this one.
Yeah.
So we're going to go down and choose LabRat,
Yeah.
because that's our network. So you have the ability to connect via various encryption methods, including WEP or WPA or WPA2.
Right.
So you can secure this. So we're going to go and enter our thing, just surfing around here. I've chosen a nice small password because we don't want this episode to last the entire half hour, just me entering this. Whoops. So you just enter your password for your network. And LabRat. See, it's a bit of a painful process, even with a small one, but at least you can do this right directly from your TV. You don't have to set things up over the. Oops, that's not right.
No. Or you.
So you can overshoot a little bit, but you know what?
Oh, it's just a little painful.
It's a bit painful, but you know what? In the past, this used to be even worse.
Thumbs down.
In the past, this used to be a lot harder to do, actually.
Wow, harder than this?
Harder than this. This is actually very, oh, there we go. There it is. The exclamation point, because LabRats rules!
Yeah, dude.
All right, and so we're going to go down to done, and it's going to connect to our network. Connecting to wireless network, LabRat. So we'll wait for that to go. And your Apple TV is now connected to the wireless network LabRat. So that's step one. You're connected to the network.
Yeah.
Number two, you want to actually connect it to one of the PCs in your house, one of the computers, either Mac or Windows, that's running iTunes. So you make sure that the computer is running iTunes already. And then we're going to go down to sources. And it'll look on the network to see what you can connect to.
Right.
So now,
now will there be machines that are running iTunes on the network will basically be broadcasting? I'm capable of an Apple TV connection. Is that
right? Well, what you see on here, we've actually when we clicked on sources, it sort of fired up over here, and we've got a new section here called devices, and underneath it says Global Hermit TV, which is this Apple TV that I've set up.
That's what you named it.
Right. So if you wanted to hook up a new one, that would appear in there again under your devices menu, and you would enter a password to do this. So I'm going to actually disconnect because I'm already pre-connected. So there's Sean Carruthers music. You see, you can connect up to multiple sources.
Oh, that's great.
Here in the house. I've connected to my own, to Matt's, to Ryan's, to Victor's, and to Kate's. These are all the people at the Lab with Leo.
Lab with Leo, yeah.
And I'm going to. Oops,
that's of course when they're in range on the same network.
Right. So actually, at this point, I think I can't disconnect from this one because this is my main source here.
Okay.
But to set it up, what you would do is you would. Well, do you have iTunes running on one of your computers?
Nope.
You don't?
Nope.
You're a bad man. So what you would do is go into Sources, click on Connect to New iTunes. So this is what you would do to do this. So you would do that, and it'll give you this number, 32793. So that's a code that says that when you enter this into this, I have authorization to connect to this. Otherwise, anybody could come in and connect to my media insert. So it's a security feature.
That's good.
So if you only want one person to be able to connect to it, then you just give that one person this code.
Right. Okay.
And this code comes up every time you do it. So just as you're trying to connect, you would enter that code.
Right.
And this would appear at that point. This code will no longer be valid after this has been entered into your computer.
Right. Okay. Dynamic.
It's dynamic.
Okay.
So you'd enter that into iTunes. When it showed up on your iTunes menu and you clicked on it, Global Hammer TV, it'll then ask you for the code.
That code. Okay.
And then you would enter it in, and then it would connect and start syncing.
Okay.
Okay? So let's back up again. And so now we've got these main features in here. So we've got movies, TV shows, music, podcasts. These are the 4 main settings that you'll see on this. TV shows is a bit interesting up here in Canada because TVs actually and movies, because it depends where you are in the world what you'll get access
Right, because there are
to.
different rights that are, when Apple negotiates the rights for distribution of the various intellectual properties in movies and TV shows, they do it by region. So if you're in the US, you're lucky enough, you have lots to choose from. Here in Canada, I think we're very limited, aren't we, on what we have?
Yeah, when you download things from the iTunes store in Canada, you have no movies and no TV. So you can get a gift card from the States for the iTunes store, and you can use that and redeem it for things there. So if you know someone in the States and you're in Canada or you're in another jurisdiction where you can't load it, you would get that gift card, go to the US version of the iTunes store and start downloading.
Right.
I'm not sure whether they're going to close that little loophole there, but for the time being, that's the way to do it.
Okay.
So, and then once it's in your library, you can go over here and start looking at these various things.
Oh, cool.
So we've got an episode of Lab Rats here from previously.
Yeah.
And we would just hit
It's our
play.
previous Vancouver shoot.
It's
That's
one
what
of
I
our
was-
previous
yeah.
Vancouver shoots. So now here's a neat feature that I noticed in there. It says resume playing or start from beginning. Now it'll remember where you left off last time you were playing this, and that doesn't matter whether you were playing it on the Apple TV or on your iTunes if it's coming from that
Oh,
thing.
neat.
So if you stop playing this on your computer,
Yeah.
and then you decide you want to pick it up later on, if you pick it up from your Apple TV and it's sourcing from that same iTunes,
neat.
it will actually allow you to resume from where you were before. So we're going to resume playing.
Today, thank you to Dell for sending me the Inspiron 6400 here. We're going to have a look at UAC, or User Account Control. That was a great episode. They look very handsome, don't you think?
Sure.
Yes.
So, but anyways, there you go. So we were streaming Lab Rats there, and we've got other episodes, and you get these little thumbnails here, and these are a couple episodes that I sort of downloaded because I couldn't get access to them up here. And a version of awesome video games here, and again, I think it'll ask me if I want to resume it. Actually, no, this one is just streaming now because I haven't actually put this onto the Apple TV, so it's now streaming from my player. And let's turn this down a little bit so we can hear it. So there's one nice feature about the Apple TV is you can actually start streaming it over the network before you've synced it. And then once it's synced, it'll just start kicking in immediately.
Cool. Who makes this? Oh, this is...
This is a guy named Fraser who we worked with.
Yeah.
And this is a great one. Fraser came from Toronto to Vancouver as well, just like me. So we're not going to watch TV while we're doing this episode. So again, we're streaming video, and this is one of the holy grails of media streaming, is getting good, reliable video streaming.
Yeah.
Now, having the hard drive inside this is a really nice way to deal with that because it's not always buffering.
Right.
Now, it streams fairly well over an 11N network. If you get a lot of other things on this network, it could start stuttering. If you're a little bit too far away from the base station, it could start stuttering while you're trying to stream.
Have you tried it G?
I haven't. Yeah, I actually have tried it with the G network, and it's okay as long as there's nothing else running on there.
Right, I've got you. Good.
So we're going to back up, and again, just it's set up very much like an iPod interface here. So if you're familiar with iPod, you'll know more or less how this works. Again, you've got music, you can shuffle it, you can play your music videos, and that's another feature from the iTunes Music Store in the States.
Right.
You can go under artists or albums or songs and just, again, click through it really quickly like this. Whee!
Oh, it's kind of... Makes me feel barfy.
Yeah. But again, this interface is a lot easier to use than most of the other ones that are out there.
I gotta say, yeah, it's pretty impressive.
So and you've got the album artwork that's up here as well, and it'll just kick into screensaver mode once you're playing something.
It has all the albums that you love that nobody's ever has heard of.
Exactly.
Right.
And if anyone wants to write in with all of these album covers and let us know what they are, it's a little bit of a mini quiz. And Andy doesn't know. So Andy won't win. He won't enter this. So let's actually take a look over here at this side of the equation.
Okay.
We have right here, Global Hermit TV. Just click on this in here, and it'll show you a mini menu, just like it would with the new iPods, of the various things that are currently on that and things that you want to sync to it. So, movies, you would click on that tab. Right now it's set to sync the 5 most recent movies that I have downloaded into here, but I can do selected movies instead, or selected playlists. So if I want to add more to it than the latest 5 things, I would just go in there and I would just manually click on each of those. Music, if you've got a big music collection like I do, then this is where this will really come in handy, because you don't want to sync 150 gigs of music if you only have a 40 gigabyte drive on this. So what you want to do, instead of syncing all songs and playlists, is you want to use just selected playlists. Now you would create a separate playlist off to the side in your iTunes, and you would go down here to playlist section and hit plus, create a special playlist like so. And I'm going to change this sync to Apple TV. And then when I put anything into that particular folder, it'll automatically sync. So again, podcasts, same sort of deal. Sync all unplayed episodes of these or selected podcasts. And photos, again, this will pull out of your iPhoto library.
Oh, is that right? Yes,
on an Apple.
Right. I gotta say, I mean, I'm really impressed with this, but the effects make me feel really barfy.
I'm sorry. Would you like a Gravol?
Yes.
Okay, well, we can take a break now and we'll find you a bucket or something.
All right, give me a bucket. All right, we'll be right back after this.
Earlier in the show, we asked you what screencasting product is not woolly or made of beans. Is it A, a llama, B, a burrito, or C, Camtasia Studio 4? The answer is Camtasia Studio 4. Learn more at labrats.techsmith.com.
Well, I think I'm okay now.
Are you?
Yeah, but I think I'm coming down with something. I don't want to blame it on the Apple TV. It's just traveling. This is virus going around. But anyway, I'm unbarfed.
Yeah. Actually, that little effect that we were seeing in there is kind of interesting. It shows off one neat feature about the Apple TV. It's got fairly good graphics in there.
That's true.
It's, for all intents and purposes, a little Macintosh.
Right, that makes sense.
It's got a pared-down version of the operating system. You can actually hack this. Now, we're not going to hack it because we're not really that type of show.
No.
But there are other people out there. And I'm sure if you watch Hack 5, Darren's going to take a look at his Apple TV and hack it. But you can. It's set to play a number of formats that iTunes will play at this point. So you can download things from the iTunes store and play them there. You can play QuickTime, a few other things, but if you've got some of the more specialty formats like XVID, you can't play it natively on there. You can convert it into a format that's playable, but you can't play it as it stands. Now, if you hack it, you can open it up, get the drive out of there, and start putting things onto the drive in this file system, which is a Unix-based file system like Macintosh uses. You can actually load applications on there. You can put other formats on there.
It's a little computer.
It's a little computer.
That's cool.
And
so how much? Little baby.
That little baby right now with the 40 gig hard drive is, I think, $249 US, $299 Canadian.
Wow.
And that's the only version they have right now. By the time you see this, there may be others that are out.
There's larger hard drives?
Larger hard drives, slightly different functionality. But that's the way it is right now.
It's a computer.
It's a little computer. A computer for your TV.
Wow.
And it solves a lot of the problems that plagued previous PC to TV solutions for multimedia.
Once again, Apple perfects the technology that's been around for a while.
Yeah. Now, there's a couple downsides I want to mention really, really quickly. Number one.
It makes you feel barfy.
It makes you feel barfy if you're Andy and you're getting a little bit sick. Number two, it's always on. Now, that's a bit of a downside, I think, from a power perspective. If you like to save a little bit of electricity, you're probably going to want to put it onto a power bar.
I also notice it runs fairly loudly too. It's got a noise on it.
You know, that was actually my computer running.
Okay.
It actually runs very silent. There's no fans or anything in there. But the downside of that is if you touch it, you'll notice it's fairly hot. And that's only been running for while we've been doing this episode.
Yeah.
So if you keep it running, it'll just keep dissipating heat like that, which is, it's not great, but it's designed to be quiet. So that's why there's no fan inside it. The thing about the power as well, the other reason you want a power bar is because with the no on-off switch on there, when you're plugging it in, it's going to be connected inside, so you're going to get sparking potentially if you've got bad wiring in the house. And you can either fry the Apple TV or you can blow a breaker or something like that. So you might want to plug it into a power bar and then flip the power bar on.
Okay, so grand scheme of things, functionality good, interface good, wireless connectivity good.
Wireless connectivity good.
But
yeah, compatibility with other
kind of barfy
formats,
graphics.
bad. Barfy graphics if you're Andy. And the no power switch thing, I think the fact that they didn't include a power switch on this is almost unforgivable at this point. Now, one of the reasons they probably did that is so that it can sync with your computer even when you're not thinking about the Apple TV, so that when you go there next time, it's already synced and ready to go.
It's people-proof.
It's people-proof.
The Steve Jobs, we only need one button on our mouse kind of idea from that department.
I'm not sure about that per se. I think it's more of a functionality of just making sure that your content is ready to go when you get there, at the expense of it always running all the time and always consuming electricity.
Stupid.
Steve Jobs thinks, maybe he thinks you're stupid. I don't know.
All right.
But you're trading convenience you're trading instant gratification for a little bit of electricity. So,
Apple Inc., large environmentally friendly company. No. Anyway, let's see. Any pictures? We're done with that, right? No more.
We're done with the Apple TV for now.
TV's done. Okay. So I want to see some pictures for our viewers, because I love our viewers.
There you go. Well, we've got the Apple side of the equation. Now we've got the Windows Vista side of the equation. Will you check this out?
Awesome.
This is Sam from the USA.
Sam, you rock.
And he's got a copy of Windows Vista, Getting Started With.
Getting
starring
Windows
Walker, Andy.
It's my DVD. It shows you, it's an 85-minute DVD. It shows you everything you need to know to get started with Windows Vista. And Sam gets it. Awesome.
But you know what? Sam also wants to know about more Apple stuff, he said. So he's like me. He's on both sides of the equation. And I know you're on both sides of it to a certain extent as well.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I am.
So, it's all about the technology and finding out about things. So Sam gets it from both sides of the equation. I like that.
Coming up next from GettingStartedVideo.com, Getting Started with Apple TV.
Starring
Andy Walker.
See, he'll go where the money is. He's not going at the Windows.
All right. Very good. Anything else? Oh, what's going on with the Lab Rat?
Oh, the Lab Rat. He's doing his own podcast now. Look at, see, he's got a really good USB microphone here. He's ready to go. He's getting better ratings in iTunes than we are right now.
This is Betsy Weber's project. Betsy, of course, is the chief evangelist at TechSmith Corporation, and she got one of our Lab Rats created by Kim, who she's taking him around the world on her travels, and she's been to Amsterdam, hasn't he? And he's been to all kinds of places. So this is the latest, 365 days of Lab Rat.
Yeah.
On her Flickr account, and we'll put up the URL here so you can see it. Go check it out.
Check it out for sure.
All right. Is that it?
That's it.
That's it from us, the Lab Rats. Thanks for downloading this week. We really appreciate it. We love to have you watch us every week. My name is Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers.
And we will see you next time. See ya.
Are you ready?
Makes you feel sick. Quit watching. What are you, nuts?